hi, everybody. I'm not alone. I'm with my good friend Jeff Ross. We're on the road for basically like a year, and I look fine, but I always gain weight and get really like thick because you get off stage and you've been sleeping, resting all day or traveling all day.
Yeah.
And nothing's open because you're in some small town and you're just eating mini bar garbage or you're eating, 7-Eleven pizza. It's just really hard to.
Oh, I always say that.
Right?
Like I'll just be there backstage, just going. I think Beyonce eats a meatball parmesan sauce right before she goes on, right?
Well, there's the echelon that like brings a chef or like has like meals.
My God.
But it just when you're on the road, it's just really hard to eat healthy.
Yeah, or be healthy, and whatever your
right.
thing is, it's going to happen on the road. So it's good to be aware of that.
Yeah,
Whether it's food or sex or drugs, whatever your thing is.
You're not home, so you're doing everything you can to comfort yourself. Comfort food, comfort drugs, comfort, it's very hard to stay.
Well, luckily, the only thing you're going to overdose on is a bathtub and Law and Order. So.
I know. Well, I don't go out after I do stand-up. I go straight back to the hotel, and I can't wait. But I do, I get just a little stoned, and I put out a smorgasbord. Is that how you say it?
Smorgasbord
of, whatever I can find and eat it and find Law and Order and watch it.
How many Law and Orders are there?
I don't know, but I've seen all of them.
Huh. Doesn't it drive you crazy that you know what happens?
No.
What is it?
It's comforting. It's just comforting. It's just, it keeps me company, just like soft-core murder.
Have you tried CSI? There's lots of those.
No, it's too much. It's too much.
Interesting.
And I don't like the real stuff.
Right.
Like Cold Case. I just like reenactments, general reenactments of ripped from the headlines.
Love it. And the bells.
Oh my God. Well, SVU. My favorite joke I've ever told at a roast, it was another, it was a Friars Club roast that wasn't on TV. And I didn't write it, and I can't remember who wrote it. But it was the best. It was Belzer was on the dais, and the joke was Richard Belzer is the third funniest one on SVU after Ice-T and rape. Oh,
that's so good.
We laugh.
Oh my God!
Because we can't cry. No, we can cry.
I miss those old days when you'd get down and dirty at the roast.
I know.
You didn't give a fuck. You didn't give a fuck. You would rip people. You were the best at that. People have kind of grabbed that mantle since then, but you really did that first. There weren't a lot of us.
That was very good. That was very good.
It's not even it's just like that part of your life. That was such a fun.
I mean, maybe I would do a roast again someday, but really I just love, my favorite part of the roast is just getting lunch with you and you reading all the jokes you have so far and watching it.
Yeah, I used to come over. We'd go to one of your restaurants.
Yeah.
Whether it was New York or L.A., and I would just read you the jokes, and you would be dying laughing, and then I'd put a check mark next to the ones that you were laughing at.
Just the best.
You replaced Buddy Hackett for me. When Buddy Hackett died, you were my test.
I always thought of myself that way, as like a working man's Buddy Hackett.
Young man's Buddy Hackett.
What one of my favorite jokes of yours was the Bob Saget roast, and you referenced George Carlin's 7 words you can't say on TV.
Yeah.
Do you remember? Because I'm gonna fuck it up if I do it.
I remember it. Because I've since used the joke about Diane Warren, and she quotes it back to me all the time because she's always getting nominated for Grammys and never wins. So the joke was, Bob Saget at that point, we were coming off the heels of The Aristocrats, which you were one of the stars of.
Oh, right. And that was a huge revelation for kind of like the public that America's Dad was a very dirty stand-up.
Right. I do a tribute to him in the Banana Show, and one of the things that I talk about in that is that he was America's dad, like Bill Cosby.
Yeah.
Except Bob would put people to sleep the old-fashioned way by talking about his charity work for the Scleroderma Research Foundation. But Bob was becoming known for like bawdy, dirty. They called it Dirty Daddy. He had a book or a special called Dirty Daddy. And people were finding out that the America's Funniest Home Video guy, the Full House dad, was this like crazy nightclub comic.
Yeah, but also the sweetest, kindest, most thoughtful mensch.
That's how he got away with it.
Yeah.
And he had obviously adored you, and he was one of my best friends. And I was like, wow, you got all these comics roasting a comic. It's gonna be very dirty. Yeah, Gilbert, Artie Lang was supposed to be there, but he didn't make it at the last second. And then Norm Macdonald was going to be there. So,
I'm sure Artie had a good excuse.
Yeah, he had a great excuse. And I was like, man, if I just go dirty, I'm not going to be able to out-dirty everyone. And Gilbert and Bob will be dirtier than me no matter what. So let me just not curse. See if I could just be as funny as them and not curse. And that's what I did. I wrote this, my whole roast didn't curse. It was like edgy, but I didn't use curse words and sex. And I go, Bob, at the end, and George Carlin had just passed away. So I said, Bob, you may have noticed, you're the king of, the dirty comedy, but you may have noticed I didn't curse at all. And in the spirit of that, in the spirit of George Carlin, 7 dirty words you'll never hear on television. Here's another 7 words you'll never hear on television.
Oh, here's the 7 words you'll never hear on television. Yeah.
And the Emmy goes to Bob Saget.
Yeah, and the Emmy goes to Bob Saget. When you realized that was 7 words, were you so happy?
So shout out to Bob. It was his birthday this week.
Oh. Good
guy. I missed him. I miss him. Anytime you go through a breakup, he would show up with a pastrami sandwich and a pep talk. And everybody should have a friend like Bob. I know you talk about friendship and all that stuff on this podcast. And Bob was the guy that checked on you, that told you he loved you, even when you were in a fight with him. Yeah. He was just that person. He had that, 3 daughters. He's the only person I've ever seen where the ex-wives become best friends because they love him and the daughters so much.
Yeah, all
and
those 2 girls.
Yeah.
I mean, women. They're grown women.
And
so
wonderful family.
Yeah.
You left me a message. Now I'm playing it for the world. Let's hear some voicemails.
Hey, Jeff and Sarah.
Hey.
I'm curious about dating celebrities and your feelings on that. As non-celebrities, did you date celebrities? As celebrities, dating other celebrities, non-celebrities? What are the rules, the weirdness, the power dynamics, and all that stuff?
Poof.
No, I don't know.
I dated one celebrity.
Speaking of.
And she was massively famous, so we would just... I didn't like that. It was like... It was only for a few months, and it was a long time ago, so it wasn't a big deal. But I didn't like that... me, I like to...
You like to mix it up with the peoples.
Yeah. So
she must have been very, driver...
Yeah.
Very kind of protected and shielded and always not really we do a comedy festival. You are out in the crowd walking around. You like to hang out with people.
It was an adjustment for me. But I kind of liked that she had her career and her own business and her own thing. And that was hot. That I found to be a big turn on. And I was sad when it didn't go on. But I don't have that much experience. What about you?
I mean,
have you really done that much? Just maybe one?
No, just
yeah.
I mean, Jimmy was on the Man Show when we started going out, or right. And I was a stand-up, on talk shows and stuff or whatever. But
great question, bro.
Yeah, sorry, that was really a dud.
Hey, Sarah. You did something really nice for me once. We were at a wedding together in Sun Valley, Idaho, and you, of course, had all the pot, and I was informed to go to you, after the ceremony to, get some weed.
Oh,
and
Jonathan
I did,
Kimmel's.
and we went and we smoked a joint together in the guest house that we were staying in Sun Valley, Idaho. And you rolled a joint and we smoked it, and then you rolled another one and you put it in my tuxedo pocket.
Wow.
And you said, I said, "What's this for?" You said, "Don't smoke that. You'll know when." And later on that night, a bunch of people came out of the wedding tent, and there were a lot of, comedians and what have you there, and people that you would know. And smoking a joint in a circle, and the weed ran out, and I think it was Jeff Ross that said, "Does anybody have anything?" And you looked at me, we made eye contact, and you made this now's the time face, and I pulled out this joint, and I was the schmuck from Brooklyn who wasn't famous, who had the weed for the rest of the party.
I love
and
that.
You made me feel like a hero in that moment, and I tell that story to anyone who will listen, so thank you, and
that's great.
Love you.
Oh, that makes me so happy.
Now everyone's listening. It's a great story. I love it. You gave him some backup weed.
Yeah, I always my dad is a good karma guy, remember, I don't know if you remember this. He got his tricycle stolen. I had to get a new one. And the day it got stolen, he said, well, I'm sure whoever took it needed it more than me.
Right.
But that's just how he thought. And I was just I was paying the meter the other day, and Rory was like, we're only going to, I always put it in for 2 hours, the maximum.
Yeah.
And he's like, we're only going in for a minute. I'm like, yeah, but I don't know. I always put it in for 2 hours so that the next person is like, oh, psyched,
Oh, that's a good reason. I always do that too, but for a different reason, which is you never know. You might start talking to somebody, whatever. You don't want to worry about it.
Yeah,
but I like your philosophy of pay it forward.
It's just easier. It's on two. Instead of putting the minus to save 75 cents, just make it 2 hours.
That's how they get you.
Oh, who's getting me? It changes my life zero.
Right. I love that.
All right, what else? Great call about me being great.
Yeah. And me being a stoner.
Yeah. And not having weed, that doesn't track.
But shout out to John and Carly Kimmel for that wedding story.
Still going strong.
Doing good.
Yeah.
Here's some ads.
Shopify. Starting a business seems like an awesome, empowering idea. It is. And then all of a sudden, you are looking at a to-do list a mile long, but millions of businesses have found a tool that makes selling easier than ever, and that tool is Shopify. Shopify is the commerce platform behind millions of businesses around the world and 10% of all e-commerce in the U.S., from household names like Mattel, heard of it, Gymshark, to brands that are just getting started, like your new brand. Get started with your own design studio with hundreds of ready-to-use templates. Shopify helps you build a beautiful online store to match your brand's style. And best yet, Shopify is your commerce expert with world-class expertise in everything from managing inventory to international shipping to processing returns and beyond. Turn your big business idea into cha-ching with Shopify on your side. Sign up for your $1 per month trial and start selling today at shopify.com/Sarah. Go to shopify.com/Sarah, shopify.com/Sarah. Boom. Article, everybody. All right, you guys know I love Article. They make it effortless to create a stylish, long-lasting home at an unbeatable price. That sounds like an ad, and this is an ad, full disclosure, but it really is true. Article takes great care in curating its collection, focusing solely on high-quality, meaningful pieces that will stand the test of time. I really agree with this. There is no filler. Every item is chosen for its craftsmanship, its design, its lasting value. You all know I love Article. I love my globe lamp. The light it emits feels like moonlight. It's so pretty. I find it flattering on my face, too. My living room chairs, Tess, Amy, you've sat in them many a time. They're so comfortable and they're gorgeous. They're like teal with like a brown walnut bottom, wooden bottom. And I've had them since I moved into my house, and I get compliments on them still all the time. And also this is getting too long, sorry. I have a queen bed frame in my guest room, which I'm obsessed with. It's like a mid-century, and it has built-in side tables, and it's just beautiful. I love Article. There you go. Article offers very affordable shipping across the U.S. and Canada with options for professional assembly, which I always get because I'm not good at assembling, and they are, and they do it, and they're so nice. I mean, I know I'm famous, but they really do it for everybody. With Article's 30-day satisfaction guarantee, you can shop with confidence. Just know that if you are not completely in love with your new furniture, you can return it easily. Article is offering our listeners $50 off your first purchase of $100 or more. To claim, visit article.com/Sarah, and the discount will be automatically applied at checkout. That's article.com/Sarah for $50 off your first purchase of just $100 or more. And we're back.
Hi, Sarah. It's Kat. I just wanted to know if you thought that 90s cut jeans, that those are cool. Because they're coming back, you know? The wide leg, straight cut, baggy. It's all the rage now. With all the kids, they love the 90s. And I was just wondering, you know, because you wore those in the early 2000s and, you know, comedy royalty. What do you think of baggy jeans now, or that they're coming back to you? Do you have a pair of baggy jeans? I actually just got a pair of baggy jeans, and they're so fucking comfortable that because I forgot that the 90s, that's why we wore that shit, because it was so comfortable. Anyway.
I'm wearing some now.
Hell Satan.
They're so good.
Are they vintage?
No.
They're soft.
Just like they're kind of mom jeans, but they're so comfortable.
You always sort of make old things new again the way you wear them. You'll mix, you know, a new thing with an old thing, and it looks cool.
I have like the same closet I did for years and years and years. I still wear like the same shit over and over again, but I try to add some new things. But also I'm trying not to buy new things too much because
why?
Because there's like an ocean filled with fast fashion pollution. It's like, you know, I don't know. I watched that documentary on a plane, Brandy Hellville, and I was like, oh my God, I'm just going to shop on eBay. But I still do get some other things. But yeah, I'm wearing some wide leg jeans, and boy, I'm ready to tie a plaid shirt around my waist in good town.
I see a lot of people in their 20s, super cool people, sophisticated people wearing 90s vintage sweatshirts, T-shirts, jeans.
Totally.
And they look cool.
I mean, I wore 90s stuff in the 90s, but I also wore like tons of 60s and 70s stuff in the 90s, you know, like because you always love like 20 or 30 years before, you know, so I was like, ooh, I love the way people dressed in the 70s. Or I remember I'd wear my hair like that girl in New York. I used to like curl it at the ends and wear like, I'd go to, you know, the used Andy's Cheapies and get like a 60s dress for $20 or something.
You also, your clothes might change, but your color schemes are consistent, right?
Is that true?
You seem to like certain colors and patterns, I think.
Well, I used to wear all black for a lot of it, but I can't anymore because I have dogs. It just gets all over everything.
Well, I like popped onto your special when it dropped the other night, and I was like, the background looks like Sarah's closet, like the clothes in the closet. So I feel like you know your colors.
I bought that. What I wore was like a combination of stuff I bought while I was on the road because we were just on the road the whole time, and so but I got this inspiration for the look on my special. I'm wearing like jeans that are kind of flared and a plaid shirt under a brown short sleeve sweatshirt, and it came. This sweatshirt I just bought on the road somewhere at a vintage store, and this shirt I had, and to me, I don't know why, but the inspiration was, and it kind of ties in, I guess, because it's like transition and all that stuff. But I wanted to look like a woman in the late 70s who's single and moving. She's moving, like on moving day.
I like that.
I don't know. Like, that's how I felt like I looked. That was just the vibe I wanted.
I like that. A transition, a movement into
moving.
You're an orphan now. You know, Sarah and I used to, I don't know why I'm talking about you, but we used to go shopping a lot. I guess we probably still do once in a while, but we used to go shopping a lot. And sometimes I would buy stuff, but it was really fun watching the people in the store try to help Sarah. And then, of course, it's just like, I would always go, what about this? What about, and I would either get the look like I belonged in a nut house. You'd be like, what? I'm not wearing that.
I would never wear that.
Right. Or it would be like ding, 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 ding. Like I nailed it. And you'd buy 3 of them. One for New York, one for LA, one for the stage. So like for some reason, there's a fine line that I don't always, like it's either perfect or are you fucking crazy?
I don't even know how to say like, I like this, I don't like that. Like there aren't hard rules. It's just like, I just know when I see it,
right,
you know?
Right. Your merch. That's you.
Yeah, my
the
merch.
is stuff you would
wear. It is. It's all stuff I would wear. And I realize I can't really wear it. I mean, I wear my Silverman sweatshirt, but it's obnoxious when I'm out and about in a Silverman sweatshirt. But it does just look like a college or something, you know?
I think it's cool. You should wear your merch.
And my dad would be head to toe in that merch.
Oh, yeah.
I know. SarahSilverman.com.
What's next? What happened?
All right, what else?
It's fun.
Hey, Sarah. Brian again here. So I've been putting some content out there on Instagram. All in good fun. Pretty above the board, although it's edgy. I'm a liberal, so, it's a little left-leaning, if you want to say that. But I'm starting to get death threats. So I know from your comedy you've been like a very edgy comedian for a long time.
How could a question about death threats be this boring?
Death threats. By the way, not from me. I fucking love you, but
I'm ready to kill him.
What do you do about that? Because it's starting to freak me out, and these are deep waters that I have not dived into yet. So if you can give me some advice, that'd be great. Okay.
It's scary out there on the streets of Instagram. If you put up anything political or social commentary, it's terrifying.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm not really sure what to tell you. I would tell you, I would have 2 pieces of advice that you could take or leave.
You'd be good at you should help this guy because you've been there.
Listen, I one thing I do know is you cannot, do not answer them, don't acknowledge them, do not give it attention because that will exacerbate it. You just have to pretend you don't see it, you're not affected by it, nothing. And the other option is take your comments off. Just undo your comments on Instagram. You know, you might be bummed because you might be living off the dopamine rush of seeing comments, but it's safer just to not have them. If it's safer to not have them, don't have them. You know, I mean, that's hardcore shit, a death threat, you know. At the same time, chances are you're going to be fine, but, you know.
I get the rationale of wanting the comments on because, like, if someone wants to kill me, I want to know about it. I don't want to go to the diner and then the guy's there waiting for me, you know. Like,
right.
So you want to know who hates you. But then again, it's also this negativity that you're letting into your life and then into your creativity.
Yeah, and the people who do this are not well. So,
right.
You know, you don't want them to fixate on you.
Right.
And you just do not respond.
Death threats is a certain thing, but as far as like haters, this is another Bob Saget thing about being positive, staying positive. He didn't say, I don't do negative. No. We would argue about this one issue, which is he would block haters.
Yeah.
And I go, why are you letting them know you saw it? Let them float
that's
out.
why I don't do that.
I go, ignore it. They float out to sea. They don't know that they got to you. Why give them the satisfaction?
Yeah, because then people go, look, I get blocked by,
Right. But his answer was, I don't want to entertain bad people. I don't want them to see my content. I don't want them in my audience.
Oh, yeah. You can, this is one thing I've done is you can remove them as a follower. Yeah, that might be new. But cool. Sometimes I've done that where I just remove them as a follower, or I'll just mute them because they don't know if you've muted them, and you could just like take them out of your life. Whatever they want to say is fine, and they won't even know that you're not seeing it. But also, I don't see a lot of comments.
Death threats on social media. Jeez, what is this guy posting? Brian, what are you posting? Jeez. I guess it doesn't take much these days.
It doesn't. All right, what else?
I have a song in my show called that I'm nervous about because I haven't really taken it on the road.
Oh, I know that one. I can't wait to see how it does on the road.
Now I'm like wondering, like there's a lot of non-political Jewish but Jewish pride in the show, and I'm like, am I going to have like haters show up? So I am kind of prepared for that.
If you have haters for what you are doing in that gorgeous show, then that's...
I have a song in the show called Don't Fuck With the Jews.
Well.
And people kind of sing. And it's really not about Jews.
It's funny and joyful.
And I had a room full of non-Jews singing it the other night because it was a Friday night. There aren't as many Jews there, and it's so silly, and it has not that much to do with being Jewish, but it's just about my working class roots and my family back in Newark. So that's really what the song's about. But
it is about being Jewish, and it's very American. It isn't about any international things, right?
I'm not an expert on world affairs, so I wouldn't be able to write a song like that, but I am an expert on my Uncle Murray, so I was able to write a song called Don't Fuck With the Jews, and it's about him, like, during the Newark riots, standing on the steps of our catering hall with a rifle to make sure it didn't get looted, like tough Jews. He was an army medic during World War II, helped liberate a concentration camp, so, old stories come to life, but I am kind of prepared for just weirdos coming at me. I don't think it'll happen, but I'm also like, okay, I can handle this heat.
Jeff, can you give us a little teaser of the song?
Oh.
No pressure if you don't.
No, let me think for a second. Well, it comes from something, the story is about my great-grandma, Rosie, who was this sort of powerful woman in the 50s. Here's how I set it up in the show. It's basically about her catering hall, how she would run this business with her 3 sons. My grandfather, Pop Herb, was the band leader. My Uncle Murray ran the kitchen. My Uncle Albie cooked the books. And they would run these big, great-grandma Rosie would run these big elaborate weddings. She'd work in the kitchen all day, and at night she'd go upstairs, put on a gown, put a rose in her hair, and like make brides' dreams come true. Judy Blume wrote about Clinton Manor in her novel Wifey, how it was
Holy shit!
Every young girl's dream to grow up and have a big fancy wedding at Clinton Manor.
I think I masturbated to that book.
It very, very well could be, or on that book. And
read it. I ruined it. That's a Jeff Ross deep cut. What was it? Did you read my Playboy magazine?
Did you see the new Playboy with Pam Anderson? Read it. I ruined it. It's like one of my oldest jokes. I think it was on Letterman in 1995, April 13th, but who remembers?
I remember watching it with Mark Cohen and Bonnie McFarlane and a bunch of people in L.A.
What I say in the show is Great-Grandma Rosie, she didn't just like keep our crazy family life. She taught us right from wrong. One time she was driving down to Florida with my great-grandfather and this guy, Lee, that worked in the catering hall with them. And I remember Lee. He was a great guy. And they stopped in South Carolina to rest for the night. And the hotel wouldn't let them check in because Lee was black. So my great-grandma Rosie went back to her car got her gun and killed everyone at the hotel.
No.
And don't fuck with the Jews. And that's what she would sing to us at bedtime. Don't fuck with the Jews. So it's like this made up, silly.
Hold on, but what really happened?
What really happened was everything except the killing. She got back in the car and she wouldn't stay there. And she gave them a stern talking to, as legend has it.
Yes.
Yeah. But, so
Can't believe they were going to take the Jews. Not take the Jews.
I don't think they knew.
Oh, yeah.
Or whatever.
White
Fuck 'em.
passing.
Who cares? It's like jerks. But it's just a matter of like, growing up, like they said Jews were wimpy. I never really got the like nebbishy, Woody Allen-ish, like nerdy Jewish thing. For me, it was like, you know, my uncle was this tough guy, this World War II vet, got a Purple Heart, a Silver Star. My sister's a special ed teacher. My cousin Steve is an emergency room surgeon in a really rough neighborhood. My nephew Jared, who was with me all weekend, fights wildfires. He's a firefighter. So, you know, don't fuck with the Jews. Like, I'm a black belt, like tough working class Jersey roots, and that's kind of what the song is. Don't fuck with the Jews unless you want your ego badly bruised. Never again. Fuck with the Jews, and everybody sings it. Or the blacks, or the Mexicans, or the Muslims, or the Puerto Ricans, or whatever the fuck this guy is. And I point to someone in the front row and go, peace on earth, and everybody claps. It's kind of sweet.
Aw. There you go. You heard it here first.
You heard it here first on the Sarah Silverman Podcast.
We're the Sarah Silverman Podcast.
We're coming up top of the hour on the Sarah Silverman Podcast. We got traffic on the 101 is heating up. And we hear Sarah with the weather.
I always think of that Mike Sweeney joke. Remember when he used to host at the Cellar? And he had a joke about the big earthquake in San Francisco during the World Series.
Yeah, what was it?
And all these, sports casters had to like talk about the earthquake, and he just said like, that guy just got killed by molten rock, and Bob, you know that's gotta hurt.
Oh my God.
Here's some ads. You ever watch a makeup tutorial and they're using 1 million different products, none of which you own? Well, fortunately, you don't have to look further than Thrive Cosmetics. They make certified 100% vegan and cruelty-free products you can depend on for everything from daily wear to show-stopping looks. And by the way, that's Thrive Cosmetics, C-A-U-S. They have donated over, this is no joke, $150 million worth of product and cash funds to over 600 giving partners across the U.S. Their donations support 8 major causes, including those affected by cancer, homelessness, domestic abuse, and more, reaching individuals from all walks of life. I think Amy was saying...
I use Thrive every day.
You do? What do you use, Thrive?
So there's a palette that they make, or they made, that I use every day. And I also think I use their eyeliner. There's 3 products that I use. It's like green packaging. I like got it in my makeup bag.
Oh,
in
I
my
just
purse.
got their mascara too. I'm gonna try.
Yeah,
mascara gets all over my face. I hope it's waterproof. Anyway, people love it. It looks very easy to apply. I love makeup, but that it has versatility. I also got their like, I don't know what it's called, like a flush stick, which I like. I like a flush kind of blush, and you can just use it all over, and I like it. It's easy. But it's very easy to get that. I totally got 9 hours of sleep. Look, discover your new trusty favorite from Thrive Cosmetics, luxury beauty that gives back. Right now, you can get an exclusive 20% off your first order at thrivecosmetics.com/Sarah. That's Thrive Cosmetics, CAUSEMETICS.com/Sarah for 20% off your first order. Raise your glass to Taylor Swift with the Eras Pour, the new book with 60 cocktail recipes inspired by every era, including riffs off greatest hits, twists on her favorite drinks, call-outs to iconic moments in Swiftie history, and of course, an abundance of Easter eggs. Whether you are looking for a refreshing sipper like Fever Dream, a blackberry and bitters twist on a Pimm's cup in the middle of a cruel summer, wink, wink, or a cozy cardigan-worthy cinnamon and smoke-laced Peter-losing Wendy to drink under a streetlight in a forever winter, the Era's Pour is for you. Filled with fearless flavors of Taylor's early days to the reputation-shaking mixes of her later albums, plus alcohol-free options for people like me, so everyone at the party has fun. The Era's Pour has got you covered. With stunning photography of the cocktails and a design that reflects Taylor's ever-evolving style, from her country roots to pop anthem queen, it's the perfect companion for your next listening party. London boys, Miss Americanas, and new romantics alike, grab your shaker tins. It's time to make the whole place shimmer. The Era's Pour. Get it? The Era's Pour is available wherever books are sold. And we're back.
Hi, Sarah. It's your friend in the UK. My problem that I'm having, well, I feel like I'm standing at a precipice at the minute because I want to start doing live comedy gigs again at the age of 38.
Oh, cool.
That's nothing.
I used to have a comedy career. I had moderate success. I had an acting career that was going pretty well. And then I had my kids. And I don't regret that at all. And I wanted to be really present with them. And I was. And that was amazing. And I feel really lucky to have done that. But I also don't have a career. So yeah, I guess I'm scared about the leap into the live circuit again, starting from the bottom, and being like the old lady at the bottom.
I love this question.
I feel like if I was, I wouldn't mind being the oldest in the room if, I had a career that was great. But now I'm just going to be the sad old lady who's trying to do comedy.
You're calling into a show of a woman who's much older than that, right?
Because
But to start, you started very young, in fairness to her. You were like a teenager,
I love the show. I listen to it all.
Nice.
Boop. There she goes. All right. What do you got?
Well, here's the thing. First of all, 2 kids doing comedy. Just get a Tesla, put it in dog mode, and leave the kids in the car. You can do comedy. And I'm sure you have strong opinions about this, and I don't know if this is enlightened. This is my personal observation, 35 years of doing comedy. And she's talking about her having kids. Guys don't talk like that about having kids in their career. So I will talk about a woman who's 38 in comedy from my personal observations.
Well, first of all, there are many male comics that talk about having kids. Their whole act is the second they have kids, their act turn. Listen,
that's not what I'm saying.
Gaffigan, Tom Papa.
That's not what I'm saying. Sorry, what I'm saying is they don't go, I can't do comedy because I had 2 kids. Like they would never bring this up. So she's concerned about that. So
yeah, they don't leave their careers.
Right. So you have to, I don't know your name, but you have to dismiss that from your head. Like that's not a disadvantage or an advantage. It's
you have so much to draw from. You have so much material.
This well of comedy. But, and my personal observation, having not just done comedy with moms or women who, when I knew you, you were 20, and now decades later, you're funnier or as funny, I would say funnier than you've ever been. So the fact that you're 38 is not a disadvantage. It's an advantage because you have something to talk about.
Joan Rivers said she didn't feel like she found her voice in comedy until her 70s.
Susie Essman on Curb, Judy Gold, Chelsea Handler, Sarah Silverman. What I'm saying is my just experiences, 38, you're first going to be funny. You may not even been that funny when you were 25. You might have just been okay. But you have all that life experience that's pushing you to get back on stage, and that's the reason. It's just not just the love of the game. It might also be because you want to talk about those kids. You want to talk about your relationships, failed relationships, good relationships, whatever that is. Like, you have this wealth of experience going from girl to woman, from boy to man.
You're right, and get on stage if that's what you want to do. But so much in that question was what you think other people will think of you.
Right.
Like, throw that shit away. You're already losing. You know, like, oh, what are they going to think of me being 38? Guess what? You're the youngest you're ever going to be again. So fucking love 38.
I love
You're in your
that.
30s. So if you want to do stand-up, you want to go back to it, or you want to do it in a whole new way, do it. And do it for yourself and work on the craft, write and get on stage. And just, it's none of your business what other people say or whatever. I mean, were saying, like, you are who you think other people, you think other people think of you. That's just like, there's nothing good comes from that. You'll just be riddled. And then listen, so much of comedy is the survival skill of being funny, making the fat joke before the kids call you fat or whatever. Mm-hmm. But like, what you are too old for that shit. You're a grown woman. This cannot be about what other people think. This business already eats you alive, objectifies you, and all those things. Don't do it to yourself.
Correct.
You have to be your number one hype man. And I don't mean like pushing yourself out on Instagram or whatever. I mean, you now are in charge of raising yourself. You've raised your kids, you got to raise yourself. So meaning you have to go, I got you. We got this. Like, let's try some jokes. I wrote some jokes. I'm going to try them. It's fine to be vulnerable. But to just go like, I'm old, I'm ugly, or I'm whatever, it's like that kind of insecurity at this age, that's where I'm saying you are too old for that shit. Mm-hmm. And believe me, people go much farther in age and are saddled with that bullshit. But it's exhausting to be around, and it just means nothing. Write jokes, perform them, see how you feel about it. Keep going, keep your head down, do it, make new friends. And, if like something's going to come of it, it will happen. But your job is the art, is the jokes and the writing and the performing. Focus on that. Don't focus on what other people are going to think or that young people are going to call you old. When I was young, when I was a 19-year-old comic, I thought 29-year-olds were old. It was like I was like embarrassed for them. What I thought did not matter at all.
Right.
I
think this person will first be the most interesting you're ever going to be is going to be now.
Yeah, and I heard a lot of like, I was. Don't was. Be.
I like that.
It sounds smart, but don't was, be. Put that on the T-shirt.
That's really good, actually. That's very good advice.
Don't was, be.
I also think
life experience. It did make sense when I said it.
Don't was, be.
Yeah, you are who you are now. You raised your kids, you don't regret it? Fuck yeah, that's right. And you're getting back to it with all these new skills. And, I read something where someone was like, and women take time off of their job for, 15 years and raise kids. And you see this huge gap in their resume. Run to hire them because they can organize, they can run, they're producers. They've had all those years of basically what a producer does. Getting shit done, figuring out the schedule, making sure it happens, leap towards hiring women who are getting back in the workforce after fucking raising children. I can't even imagine. I didn't have kids. I couldn't even imagine doing that job. But it is just interesting. There's always still a double standard. Things are the best they've ever been. I mean, current administration aside and all the detritus that's, everything in its wake, of women and rights and stuff but I mean, women are kings of comedy, are killing it, in the creative field or whatever, blah, blah, blah. I don't remember what I was saying because I'm old.
I think it makes a lot of sense.
Like age, especially it sounds like you're in England. Sounds like you're British. I mean, look at the women that are dominating British comedy now and for the past 30 years. You got French and Saunders, Jennifer Saunders doing the show after that's huge. I heard it might even come back or they might do a movie. What's the one with
Ab-Fab.
Absolutely fabulous. You have so many women dominating the field of comedy in Britain. Like,
here too.
Do your thing. You do it because you have to do it.
Jump back in.
If you don't have to do it, maybe you don't. But it sounds like you do. So do it. All right. I think I've yelled at you enough.
It's good inspirational, motivational talk.
All right, what else?
Hey, Sarah, it's Kat again, your best friend. I heard a blip on a podcast earlier today that you said you were wondering if people would want to be told if they had BO. And let me tell you, as somebody who's been pulled aside at every single job they've ever had on the first day and been told, hey, you have extreme body odor. I can tell you, it's embarrassing and makes you want to crawl into a hole. And also, I don't know what to do. I shower. I must not be, I don't know, maybe my clothes don't wear deodorant. I don't know. The point is that I would prefer a service, perhaps some sort of singing telegram or barbershop quartet, to stop me on the street and be like, your family still loves you and wants you to change. Take a bath.
This is like a real pattern. If every job you've ever had has told you have BO on day one, you have BO, doll. So I don't, there are many things it could be. It could be wash your clothes. A lot of men, their mothers washed their clothes their whole lives and they just never learned how to do laundry and didn't realize it was being washed for them. Wash your clothes. Wash your body with soap. Maybe try a new soap. Are you taking any meds? Are you taking any vitamins regularly? Those can be. If you know the kind of smell, ask people what it is. Is it like a poopy duty smell? I mean, is it like a metallic smell? Is it a fishy smell? And then Google, what does it mean to have a metallic smell or, however they describe it. Maybe you'll get to the root of it if you're doing all the basics and you still smell. Thoughts?
Well, sometimes guys will leave a shirt in a closet for 4 years and then just put it on like it's okay. And
so
sometimes
true.
it's just like, oh, it smells like it's been in the closet, musty. So you got to watch for that. You have to brush your teeth, something that Sarah told me that disease comes in through the gums.
Death creeps in through the gums. You have to floss and brush.
Sarah's definitely given me gum, said, hey, you want a piece of gum? And you get it. It's an unspoken.
Hey, you want a piece of gum?
Now, immediately.
Yeah, it wasn't, hey, you want a piece of gum? It was, hey, you want a piece of gum.
Right. And it's also like what friends do.
Yeah.
So that'd be a great app that you could just stick your phone under your armpit and go, how am I doing today?
Oh, yeah.
The phone's like, I better take a shower. What's the question exactly? The question is,
he didn't really have one. He was saying he'd like to be told with an Irish quartet.
Yeah, that would be good.
Hey, you smell like a barrel of fish. Hey, you smell like you sat on
shit.
like you sat in some shit. That does a rhyme, adjacent rhyme.
It's not just the moment of that having it. It's like people will not want to talk to you, and then your whole life's affected.
Yeah.
So it really is a thing that you have to fix.
Listen, how you look doesn't matter. How you present doesn't matter. But you really need to control your smells because it's like, how there's noise pollution. There's nose pollution.
I had a girlfriend once who was vegan, and for whatever reason, that mixed with some aspect of her meds or something was giving her bad breath. And it took a lot of courage to tell her.
And how'd she handle it?
It didn't.
This is you telling her. Oh, no.
No, it did improve, but it definitely affects kissing and conversation, and it's a thing you really have to be aware of. And I would want someone to tell me.
Yes, and I.
You have to get over the embarrassments. It's worth the embarrassment to be able to hug and kiss and see people and talk to people and whisper in their ear, hey, great to see you, you know?
I was just thinking Todd Glass's joke about when someone has bad breath and he'll just go in front of them, I wonder what 1,000 Tic Tacs would taste like.
What was your breath? You had a joke like that about your breath.
Oh my God. This is
classic.
a joke I wrote in high school.
Yeah.
And I did it when I first was doing stand-up, and then I stopped doing it. And coincidentally, years later, Todd Glass asked me if I still did that joke. And I said, no. And he goes, can I have it? And I said, yes. And then, of course, he took it. But like where mine was like, I wrote it in high school, was like a one-liner. He made it into like this 10-minute brilliant piece, you know. But it was literally, I wrote it in high school. It was, my friend asked me, does my breath smell like tacos? And I said, I don't know. Do you put shit in your tacos?
So Cab, what I do is just in case I have a spare shirt in my car at all times.
If
good. It's hot out and I unexpectedly walked or sweat, I keep Tic Tacs around and that kind of thing. And shower even when you're not in the mood. Is not a bad idea before you go out. Just little things, and if it's none of that cures it, then it might be something that you should talk to a doctor about.
And also just lather your body head to toe. It's so nice, and then rinse. It feels good.
It does feel
good to exfoliate. You know, you're shedding skin, and see if you see a change. See if I mean, wow, there must be a face people make that you go, oh God, they smell me.
Some people are not aware of of that at all.
Like you might not be aware that like people don't really talk like this in real life. They're just holding their breath. They're like, hey, how are you doing? Good, how are you?
You know what I do? If I don't know the person well, I'll be like, I blame it on myself. I'm like, can you back up a foot? I don't see well close up. I can see you better if you back up a little bit.
Keep going. Yeah. One more step.
This is
Sarah,
fun.
you have another bad breath joke.
Oh.
I do?
Mm-hmm.
What
it was about duck. It's as if all the farts in all the lands pass through my grandfather's teeth.
That sounds like, that was I think that was in We Are Miracles. Oh, Duck, R.I.P. Speaking of R.I.P., Dad, wherever you are in time, space, that's what I learned. It's called time, space. This is the time of the podcast where I say, send me your questions. Go to speakpipe.com/the Sarah Silverman Podcast. And also subscribe, rate, and review wherever you listen to podcasts. And if you haven't yet, now is a super time to subscribe to Lemonada Premium. Just hit the subscribe button on Apple Podcasts or for all other podcast apps. Head to lemonadapremium.com for bonus content you won't want to miss. That's lemonadapremium.com.
Fuck up.